All right, guys. Hey, we're live in here. I'm gonna jump over to the Facebook page and make sure it's rolling okay. But we're good here. We got AJ, Shane, and Ryan. If you guys have been watching, we had the Hobie BOS drop their schedule announcement just a minute ago. It was exciting. So here we are for you guys to ask questions. I know AJ didn't stay on long. He didn't really field many questions on the live stream. So here we are to do that. Hopefully, you can kind of answer some of them without delving into too much of the new setup that you're going to reveal at TOC. Can you guys hear me okay there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you great, Jeff. You sound beautiful.
Good.
With Charlie.
No audio problems tonight, could it be?
I love that microphone. I think we really just elevated tonight.
We're trying.
And I know the viewers at home can't see our studio setup. We have a cell phone leaned against a napkin holder and AJ's phone with the light on stuck inside the napkin holder facing us. So
that's awesome.
I mean, KBN's really on the come up.
It's professional over here tonight, for sure.
Yeah.
Budget's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, we got about 14 or 15 guys jumping on so far. If you are on here watching this, jump over, share this to your local group. If you're a Hobie BOS supporter club, share it to your personal page. It doesn't matter. Just share it around so that we can get as many people as possible asking questions, and we can kind of ask away. You guys see there's a scroll there at the bottom. I tried to keep up with you, AJ, and type in the events as you were dropping them so that people can kind of follow along and see that. But it looked like an awesome schedule. I'm glad you're coming back to Arkansas. I know we had a satellite here this year.
Yeah, satellites were spread out all over the country. We've also got the TOC in Arkansas, but Arkansas deserves a 2-day open for sure. It's got some great fisheries, ones that everyone's heard of and some others that no one has. But, Dardanelle's on the schedule for all the biggest bass tournaments. It's time to put one of the biggest kayak fishing tournaments out there and see what happens.
Well, we're pumped. We can kind of go through the schedule one by one. I was kind of shocked to see Lake Seminole on there first. I just knew it was going to Texas first, and then boom, hit us with Lake Seminole down there, Georgia-Florida line. So
that's the right place, right time.
All right.
In case you don't recognize this big hand, that's Ron Champion.
Ron,
he just rolled in here.
The Ron Champion. Ron. What's up, Ron?
What's up, buddy? Oh my gosh.
So tell me about that. Whose home lake is that? Is that Shane's stomping ground down there?
It's going to be about 3 hours for me. It's really close to Matt Van. I know he'll get a lot of time out there.
He's getting excited about
Brandon
that.
Barton will be out there a lot, I'm sure.
Brandon Barton said he's going to buy his second bait caster just because that event was announced. So he's pretty pumped.
The cool thing about us getting to go down to Seminole was, it's one of those. It's on an incredible river chain. It's got the Chattahoochee. That a lot of people are familiar with for the unique species that it offers. Then you've got the Flint. Yeah, the Flint flows in as well, and that's actually our host is in Bainbridge, Georgia, so the river's running right through there. Shoal bass opportunities, pre-spawn largemouth opportunities. It's going to show out. It's going to be an early pre-spawn bite, but that's what often yields some of the largest bass, and we put ourselves in a lake that high-end potential is much higher than a lot of other lakes.
I'm going to have to map out quick how far that is from Arkansas. I don't know. I want to hit as many of these as possible, and actually I've never bass fished down that far south, so that'd be a fun trip.
Come on.
Hopefully we can rally a bunch of people.
Standing timber in like 30 feet of water. It's awesome.
It's just like here then. I'm good with that.
I don't even know where Arkansas is, so I guess it's like there. I don't know.
We're your neighbors, man. Aren't you from Tennessee? What the heck?
Yeah, Arkansas is always on the way to somewhere else.
That's right. Rich Schreckenghost chimed in here and said, thanks for coming back to Fork. I was nervous it was going to get left off, so I was excited to see it back on there and at another different time of year. So something new for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Fork's one of those lakes that has the name recognition, but the coolest thing about Fork is it has the support from the community. Lake Fork Marina Motel has always been an amazing host. Anytime any sort of kayak tournament wants to go there, they love what we're doing, and they've been supportive from the start. And so it's always, Texas has a lot of opportunities. Some of them are now so big and popular that they're turning people away for events. But Fork was always ready to have us, ready to come back. So we switched up the time of year and are going to give anglers an opportunity once again to catch a giant bass. I mean, pre-spawn on fork is, the genetics in that lake just alone allow for some opportunities that, you just can't get in any other venue across the country. I mean, there's only a handful of lakes that offer that opportunity, and we're going to be putting some amazing anglers. Texas was at the time everybody was thinking, it was a lower turnout, but really it wasn't. It was right with our average in for year one, and overall Texas anglers between one satellite and.
Oh, we kind of lost you there for a second, but it'll reconnect. Hopefully reconnect real quick. Then it went away.
I know it's half.
Yeah.
Hey, we got the fellas back. Hopefully you guys are still with us. I don't know what happened. I blame Ryan this time. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely Papa Doobie's fault.
Yeah. You guys on Wi-Fi or on your cell signal? What's going on?
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can recapture some of the audience. We were in the middle of talking about Lake Fort. Go back and see if I can find some of those questions. I know Josh Evans had asked if any satellites were coming up northeast other than what's scheduled that way. But is there any satellites at all this year?
Tell Josh Evans just to focus on fishing the BOSs on the schedule would be great. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, so that's our schedule this year. We wanted to cut down on our overall amount of events and make sure that we're giving the anglers the best experience possible at the events they do come to. We definitely wanted to reach out and get up into the Northeast, but an area that still allowed anglers from the central part of the country and mid-Atlantic to come up as well. So we thought that Pennsylvania was a great fishing opportunity, especially that time of year, and a really good geographical location that allows us to see how much support we're going to get in that region.
That was Josh asked that?
Josh Evans, yeah.
So, yeah, he just fished Erie last weekend and took home a check. So,
yeah,
should be excited about that one.
Right in your wheelhouse, Josh. Get ready, buddy.
Yeah, I think they were just wanting more events. So, people have really enjoyed what you guys did. So they're longing for more, I guess.
Yeah, I understand. That's one. I mean, we really only have 9 events. Limited a little bit as to what time of year we can get up into the Northeast. So, there's a lot of challenge. I mean, you guys know that are directors, especially you, Jeff, and you've been making schedules for years. There's a lot of challenges that go to schedules. Putting it on a national level presents a whole new challenges. You have to wonder if you talk to all the right people at the right times. And sometimes all that stuff's out of your hands anyways when you start working with communities and you find yourself really trying to fill in, a hole in the schedule. But ultimately, you lay a schedule out and it's just as available for anybody to get to it if they want to. That's really what's important. If you want to come to one, almost a year, half a year in advance on some, a year in advance on some others, you can get it on your schedule and come out and have a good time with us because that's really what it's all about. Putting anglers on those venues, everyone's on the same page once the tournament starts.
And the best way to get more events in a certain location is show up. If you want more events in the Northeast, drum up 150, 200 people, and these people that run tournaments are like, oh, we need more events up here. Look at all this participation we've got. It's ultimately a business anyway, like marketing wise for Hobie especially, you want numbers. Like that's what we're all here for. So the more support you show these events, the more events you're going to see.
Yeah, we look at that. We don't look at where events were. We look at where anglers are coming from. That's what we're looking at, and we're looking at where we can, what other markets we can penetrate and provide new opportunities. Penetrate, get in there.
Yeah, got it. Right.
And so, that's something we would love to add, more events in the future, or more events in regions in the future. There's some lakes up north in the Northeast that I've always wanted to take events to, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to do that. But this is our first event in the Northeast, so we'll start there. If you all show out, if the fishing shows out, if the community that's supporting us is ready to go, then we'll continue to look at other opportunities. And same with California. We had one event in California last year, and it was kind of for the most part, a lot of what we're doing out here in this part of the country. We're obviously really disconnected to that. There's a lot of anglers in this part of the country that are traveling to, every weekend to some sort of national event. But out there, we want to see if we can get our numbers out there to support maybe a second event out there and maybe more moving forward. So you got to remember, this is just the start of our second year. We haven't even finished our first year yet. We are really trying to grow this thing, but grow it the right way. Grow it with the anglers in mind and the experience for the anglers in mind. And we might have put a little more on the map this year. And, unfortunately, it was all on us. We neglected some of our events and some of our opportunities for anglers, and we want to get better at that. And so we wanted to lower the amount of events and increase the quality of the experience for the anglers.
One of the questions that came in from Katie Backett down in Texas, she missed a little bit of the Hobie live stream and said you mentioned something about you're going to want to fish 3 events. Is there anything to expand on there? You kind of holding that close to the vest right now?
I'll expand a little bit, but we're going to roll that program out at the TOC. That's going to be kind of our big opportunity to really unveil some of the big changes going from 19 to 20. And one of those is going to be a format that incentivizes anglers that are fishing more than one event. Obviously, we're still going to have qualifications for the TOC based on your performance, but sometimes performance over the course of a series isn't always placing in the top 6 or top 5 or whatever that is. Sometimes it's sustained, top 10s, and anglers that are able to do that or sustain top 20s in the events that they fish might find themselves in a position to be fishing for something pretty special at the end of the year in an amazing venue that we can't wait to announce.
So I'm getting maybe a little hint of some points or some accumulated performance incentives then, right?
This is purely speculation, but I think if you fish 3 events, you're putting a lottery to win AJ's truck. I don't know.
Okay.
It was something like that.
You get to spend the night in the RV during the TOC?
Yes.
Is that maybe
Yes.
it?
Something like that.
Okay.
Definitely.
AJ,
all the signs point to that, for sure.
Did the pay scale change at all? Are you guys still paying out cash, or have you implemented any sort of large gift card into your prize winnings?
No gift cards right now, but we're still working through our sponsors and seeing what kind of opportunities are available. And that's some of the stuff that we're really going to be excited to announce at the TOC. What kind of changes to our payouts, what kind of changes to the entries. All sorts of things are going to be evaluated after this event and through the TOC. We want to make sure we finish this year strong with everything that we've set up, but we're definitely going to learn from some of our shortcomings and mistakes and things to continue to provide a better experience. And that's one of the things that we will always try to do, just to keep improving. I appreciate the people that reach out to me, the feedback that I get from all over the country. Keep doing that. I appreciate hearing from you guys. And ultimately your communication with us is going to allow us to hear you and make improvements where we can. But our overall format, our buy-ins, whatever, fishing 3 events means, all of that stuff's going to be announced when we release the 2020 Tournament of Champions location at the 2019 Tournament of Champions.
Will that be released before the tournament, after the tournament? When are you going to do that?
We'll figure it out. I think, so we've got the shootout on Friday. And so we don't want to take away from the anglers that are participating with these releases.
That's nice.
So, it definitely takes some of the focus off of the anglers that have, came and shown up and paid a lot of money to be there. So that's why we're doing this tonight on Thursday. It was awesome. I mean, we were probably 30, 35 people just sitting in Papa Doobie's over here outside Gunnersville, Alabama, and we were just talking the schedule, talking kayak fishing. People were looking at us like we were crazy. But once tomorrow starts, it's all about the anglers that are here for this tournament and for the tournament. So I don't really know what night we're going to do that or when it really presents itself yet. But, Mike Iaconelli is going to be there the whole weekend. So he's going to be involved. We've got the shootout meeting on Thursday night. We've got the shootout running all day Friday. And then we'll crown the last 2 members of this year's TOC after that. And then we're going to transition to a little private venue for the 50 anglers that are fishing in that. So we'll have to see how it works out, but it'll probably definitely be in front of the 50 anglers that have qualified for the TOC, letting them hear it first. But we'll be going live, make sure everybody at home's paying attention and seeing what we're going to be building for next year.
I got you. We got a few questions coming in here. If you guys are watching this and have any questions, please shoot them over. David Cruz asked, are the entry fees $200? Any changes to the entry fees or that structure? We'll let you chew your food before you answer that.
Yeah. The chicken's really good here.
Yeah.
Blackened
grilled chicken, pretty tasty.
Entry fees.
So the entry fees. This year is $200, $205 with the iAngler. We're definitely evaluating that. We got to look at, overall where our money was best spent, this year with Hobie and how we can improve some things and where we want to do that. I personally would like to see the entry fee go up just a little bit, but also the payouts go up a little bit. With us decreasing events this year, we still have to build the TOC pot. So, we got to look at that and see how that's going to go. We've got some awesome sponsors on board already. That's going to be able to help the overall, impact of our series. So all that stuff's going to be released at a later date at the TOC. And then our goal is to have all of these events live. Last year we did a thing where, you couldn't register until 2 months before the event. That was kind of something that I thought was important to giving anglers an opportunity to pay when it, made sense for them. This year we're just going to roll it out. It's available to buy in starting December 1st is our goal. And you get in, we're still going to keep a 200 angler cap. Some of those events, you might have to look off in the future a little bit. They might fill up. So that's one of the things that we want to kind of remain true is our numbers on our events, 200 anglers for the opens, 50 anglers for the TOC. And, we'll build everything else around that. So if we need to increase, the payouts just a little bit so we can put a little bit more money into the championship pot, that's something that we're going to look to do to overall improve the experience for those anglers. But, the goal is that we're going to also, pay out more as well. So it'll be exciting to see what we're going to come up with there. I think, this year our payouts were received pretty well. And we're kind of looking forward to oh, no. Are you frozen? No, he's moving. All right. I thought you froze up on us again.
Jeff like a tortoise in this
So, we're going to look and see overall the impact of the whole season and evaluate that as we plan for next year.
Gotcha. Well, a few more questions coming in. Another guy's asking about satellites. No, there's no satellites.
Yeah.
Josh Evans giving us a little hell saying, no, you're back finally. We almost lost it again, but we're hanging in there. We're hanging tough. Let's see, any other questions? We had Jason Gardner checked in about having another event in the Northeast, said they'll support it really well. I think AJ answered that earlier and said,
brother.
Come to Erie and show out, and we're looking at where people are coming from, and we're looking at where opportunities are for us to go. And, I will say, there's a lot of people that are extremely influential in their communities and getting events to come. But if you are, if you're working with other entities to do that, then it's hard for us to come to those specific areas too, because a big part of what we're doing is try to go to different bodies of water and provide new experiences that aren't out there. Just so everybody knows, I've worked with, Chad a little bit this year, some other entities that are looking to put events on. We've tried our best to deconflict as much as possible all across the board because ultimately we want the anglers to continue to have the best opportunities to fish as many events as possible. It's difficult scheduling around everybody and with weather and holidays and in different parts of the country. It just has its fair share of challenges. But we always look to go to new events and definitely if Northeast shows up in PA, we're going to keep showing up in the Northeast.
Nice. Duke Tran chimed in, said he hopes to be able to fish some this year. Vinny's chimed in on North Carolina, said go ahead and raise up North Carolina. Josh
gonna have his hot pink out there in a minute. He'll be ready.
Josh Evans is calling a shot on Erie. Said he's winning that one.
Ooh, there we go. Uh-oh. Josh's going to record that signature win.
His largemouth hole be full of smallmouth.
Yeah. If you guys got questions, keep shooting them in. We've got a few guys just saying hello, but they're not really asking anything. Somebody said AJ's going to need a bigger RV. I don't know. I don't think he's going to let anybody sleep in there.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
So while they're raking in, what are some events you guys looking forward to the most? I know Seminole for me is going to be a big one. It's pretty close to where I stay, so
I want to hit Seminole. Honestly, man, that California Delta tournament is high on the list. I think that's going to be a really good time. Greg Blanchard, he'll be one to keep an eye on the Delta. I'd like to see how that plays out.
That's a long ways out there. How many people you think make that trip?
They fly. There's planes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the plane thing this time.
Does the Titan carry on, or how do you do that?
It'll be the Slayer Max. It folds up into carry-on.
Oh, well, you probably take the Kayak apart and fly it out there.
There it is.
Hey, okay. Yeah. I got a Kayak for you, big boy. Whenever you come down and take a Kayak.
Oh, God, yeah. That'd probably be a big – I mean, they'll have a big event just with the people they have out there. They got a big club, a lot of anglers.
They have a big club, but, I mean – You want to have these big clubs support it.
There's several clubs in California.
I'm sure the anglers are excited, but you can't let leaders shoot you in the foot on your events you got coming. That's something else to take into account on how these larger tournament trails are scheduling their events. Like you have to have local support. So, as anglers yourselves, make sure that your local club is supporting these bigger events. It's providing you with more opportunities coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the I'm excited about Dardanelle. Obviously, it's right down the road, but I kind of begged AJ to try to put one here. Promised him that Arkansas would support an event, and I think our club will. And I hope all these clubs out there near events will do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had an opportunity to communicate with some great leaders in different parts of the country that have been really instrumental in us, trying to go to the right body of water at the right time. And the guys, Hobie's headquartered out of California. We had some guys out there kind of working some angles out there. And, it's just sometimes it's difficult to talk to every single person that, wants to be talked to. But ultimately, we're going to do our best to try to work with the communities. And this is our schedule now. So now that it's out there, and sometimes these dates have nothing to do with when we want to go to an area. It has to do with an area wants us to come there. Now that it's out, now we can all work together and figure out exactly what the best thing for collaborating, sharing, making sure anglers are supporting these next level opportunities, so there continues to be next level opportunities.
Yeah, and I'd love to see a core group of guys start traveling around to all these events. I mean, a large group. It'd be cool to see the same 50 to 75 people at multiple events instead of just locals plus a few out-of-towners. You know what I mean? Especially
that's the key.
Yeah, especially in the central U.S.
A lot of the regular Hobie guys at the table tonight that we're already kind of plotting where they're going to go next year, which 3 or 4 events they're going to prioritize.
If there are any corporate sponsors out there that would like to pay for a few of us to travel around all year, that'd be great too.
We could have
feel free to step up.
We have room in the budget.
The KBN house. We could have the traveling house.
Sure.
If they want to sponsor that, we'll throw that on there.
Yeah, it'd be a trailer. It would be probably a single wide, I would say. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe pop up.
I don't know what cesspools look like in living circumstances, but I would assume that's probably what we'd be.
Just cut the top off the school bus.
We have to have Christmas lights, though.
Could be an old tent, I guess. Yeah, one big old tent.
Green AstroTurf on the porch.
Y'all are like describing my home right now.
Oh, yeah.
You're living in style, man. You're living in style in that thing.
Yeah.
So
what else we got?
We've got people chiming in saying Dardanelle's going to be well supported. California boys are ready for something new out there. Kate Baca said
California's fishing double had a lot of people show up to that one.
Yeah, Tent City, double wide. They're just getting some hate on that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see 3 that I'm all over immediately, and I'm going to try to squeeze in a couple more. But 4.
What do you got? Fort, Dardanelle, and what else?
La Crosse. And that Mississippi River, I went up there one time. First time this year. That's legit.
So I was talking to Brandon Barton about this earlier. Where is Wisconsin? Brandon lives in Pensacola. He has no idea where Wisconsin is.
It's
I
near
tried to
Canada.
describe it. I was like, head toward Chicago, hang a left, something like that.
It's near Canada. That's all
Yeah,
that's
what we thought. South Canada. Yeah.
What I know about Wisconsin is when it is miserable and awful in most of the southern part of the country in July, it's going to be feeling a little nicer, and the fishing is going to be a little more active up there.
Yeah, it's a cool place. Every gas station sells meat and cheese. It's on the signs. It's kind of a kind of a wild place.
Spotted cow and cheese curds are the two things I know about Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's a neat place, and like AJ said, it's like nothing else I've ever fished. And I've fished rivers, in this part of the country, but it's a wild place, and it'll be fun.
Jay did well in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, I think
Sadiki did well up there.
Yeah, they both had some wins up there. I think Christine's won an event up there with the Midwest.
Where hasn't she?
So it's been a fishery where anglers that aren't used to it get up there and they find unique things, and it's anybody's chance. You find a little special spot on that river system, and you can lean on it pretty hard for 2 days if that fish stay there, and you can really put them in the boat.
Bucket list for me is to get all the way up to Lake Erie. I've never smallmouth fished on those lakes up that way. I need to make that happen. That's probably a long ways, but I need to make it happen.
Yeah, that's a haul, but every event we see up there, it seems like a really good time. A lot of fish being caught, a lot of fish falling.
That's one of the things when I started talking to the local guys there, they were like, it's got to be May, got to be early June. We want this fishery to show out. It shows out for us every year that time of the year. But other times of the year, the fish are going to be moving. The weather conditions are going to have some challenges. And the national events that we've seen in that area have been a completely different time of the year. So it's definitely something that, we're looking forward to seeing what that fishery does that time of year.
We've got, and then what I haven't seen Lake Norman, Seminole, or the Delta really on any of the big kayak scene tournaments. So that's pretty cool to see those lakes show up. Norman, I know, is a well-known lake on some of the pro bass boat circuits, but it really hadn't hosted a big kayak event. That's a ways out there, but I know those East Coast guys are excited about that one.
Yeah, it's just around Charlotte, so it's really close to the North Carolina, South Carolina line. It's central of the state, so you can get out there from a little bit further west, Georgia, Tennessee. But it's the biggest lake in North Carolina. It's going to provide some opportunities for anglers to spread out and really find some unique pre-spawn opportunities. Known for a good spot population. But I've been seeing, there's one of the local clubs out there, Queen City's got a tournament coming up, and they've been getting out pre-fishing. They've been sticking some good largemouth out there too. Probably going to be a challenge, probably going to snow on us, but we're going to have a good time out there. And there's going to be some anglers catching some fish for sure.
Ryan, I think we need to get Vinny on here one night and talk about what's going on out there on the East Coast. It seems like he'd be a good one to have on.
Buddy, it's going to be rough if we get Vinny on there.
That's all right.
We're going to need more bandwidth for Vinny. No, they run a great club out there, Queen City. I think they do like $1,000 guaranteed payouts for just the regular tournaments year round. So they have a really big support system there, and I think they'll show up for this BOS event.
We're getting a bunch of people in here saying it could snow in May on Erie. Really pumping up that Lake Erie event. Duke said he'd like to get out and hit California, but there's not a lot more questions coming in. Chase Tanner, I'm going to skip my phone. What? Set his phone to black and white for that one. I don't understand what that means. But anyway, you guys want to get back to eating and drinking and getting ready for your tournament coming up? Or you want to stay on a little bit longer?
Shane just got in town. Shane's got a pre-fish, so
yeah,
we're going to have to sit down and get a game plan together for Shane.
Okay. We're going to be watching on Angler. We're going to be pulling for you guys. I wish I could have made it to this one. One of these days I'll make it to Guntersville. I don't know when, but it's
you got to prioritize that, Joe.
Oh, I know that's there, but maybe AJ, I'm hoping I can hit 10 killer week after this for that last satellite.
Yeah,
event.
Yeah. For anybody watching, looking for an opportunity to get into the TOC this year, we're going to fill up 6 spots this weekend. One more spot will be earned next week at Lake 10 Killer. It looks like the elites are hitting it pretty hard this week. They're a little tough bites, so definitely somebody's going to earn it next week. But they'll have a paid entry to this year's TOC. Appreciate the Oklahoma anglers that have stepped up to help us run that event. They came through. We had somebody kind of unable to help us through, and really appreciate some guys stepping up to take us home there on that one. And then don't forget about the shootout the day before Lake Washita TOC. Right now we have 2 spots available, but we'll know if that's going to change to 3 or 4 here in a couple weeks as anglers commit to their spots. and go ahead and get paid up. So there's still a few more opportunities. I'm just going to say, you know, that this year's TOC is going to be something that no one's really ever seen before, and we're really excited to just, you know, showcase what the 50 top anglers in our series look like fishing, you know, for that top prize.
Oh, we're jacked about it. We're proud you chose Arkansas, even though Ryan doesn't know where it is. So we're excited to get down there and support it. I think the guys.
I'm gonna Google it after this weekend.
Right.
Don't worry.
I think everybody's gonna have a good time down there. The fishing's gonna be better in November than it was this summer for anyone that came. And it's gonna be fun. So anyway, we appreciate you guys. AJ Ashley jumped on here and said say hello to Christine for her if you see her. I don't know.
I think. Yeah, I don't even know. She was out of the state for most of this week at a riders event, and she just got back, and she hasn't had a whole lot of time to get on the water. So she's been going hard trying to get them dialed in. But I will tell her, Ashley.
Bunch of good comments. Everybody said thanks for putting on a quality series. Everybody's excited about it, so I'm sure the buzz will continue to build. But like I said, I'll get you guys out of here. Appreciate you taking the time. It was good info. So we'll get back and check the comments as they build up over the night and into tomorrow. Absolutely.
I just want to thank everybody for their support. I mean, Hobie's been sponsoring and running events for a while, but this thing's just a little different. It's a larger series that provides some different opportunities, and it really wouldn't be possible at all without what you all are doing to support it, coming to these events, traveling, and then also KBN. Giving us a platform to promote our series, to help more anglers see what high-end competitive kayak tournament fishing looks like. So thank you all for everything. We really appreciate it. And we're just going to keep on grinding and making this thing as good as it can be.
All right, man. We're excited. Everybody's excited. Hobie BOS 2020. It's out. Go look at that schedule and everybody start making plans. You guys have a good night. We're gone.
See you, Jeff.